Levi Trumbull reporting outside of Emmitsburg Liquors. We are here with Jose Torres. You will remember that Jose is going to be the future county executive for Frederick County, Maryland. Now, I just wanted to meet up with Jose today because Jose extended the invitation for me to come to his political campaign. He had a political campaign event here today at Carleo's Italian Pizza in Emmitsburg. He is sponsored, his campaign I should say, is sponsored by Emmitsburg Liquors. And I just want to extend my gratitude for your inviting me to cover your campaign and for having me behind the scenes today at this bruncheon with all of your political advisors. I was able to get a good earful as for your direction for Frederick County in the future. So where I first want to start off with is, I know we've talked before, if the people have been following my channel, then you know that I have conducted an interview with Jose about a month ago. Has anything changed since that time? We know that you're a comedian from Philadelphia. We know that you are currently on tour, the Pimp on a Blimp, High on Steak and Shrimp tour. You're working your way through Maryland as we speak right now. But has anything changed as it relates to... Oh, and I think we have a fan right here. Look at this. We have a fan. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Excuse me, sir. Are you voting for Jose Torres in the... Are you gonna vote?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Here, take that. Yes. He's. What are you doing right now? Signing an autograph on his hat?
Yes, I am.
All right. This is amazing. Look
There
at
you
that.
go, sir. Thank you.
All right, guys. This is live. Things like this happen when it's live.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Hey.
You're
Do you have anything to say to him real quick? I mean, this is going to be somebody who's voting. Are you from Frederick County? You're from Frederick County,
Yes.
yeah? Okay. Why are you voting for Jose?
He's so beautiful.
He is, yeah, true. What do you want to say to one of your constituents who says that he is going to be voting for you in the upcoming election?
I want to say thank you for your vote. We're really going to turn the state around. I appreciate your confidence in my abilities. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
All right.
Jose Torres.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
All right, guys, and that's what happens when you do stuff live. All right, so as you can see, we're standing outside of Emmitsburg Liquors. I asked you a question a minute ago. I forgot what it was, but we'll just move on here. So Emmitsburg Liquors, they have actually donated to your campaign to the tune of $3,000. What do you want to say about that?
I just want to say I appreciate businesses in Maryland going out of their way, putting their money where their mouth is, and giving me money to spend. We've got a new campaign advisor. His name's Ryan Ross, and we've got a director of health and Medicare. Her name is Rachel Ross. She's going to be helping us out. Spread the word about my 700-page Medicare plan, double-spaced, 700-page book, New York Times bestseller with my face on it. It's going to be a great read. It's going to be releasing in a couple of weeks. So she's going to be helping us out with that. So that's what's kind of changed right now.
Interesting, very interesting. So on a personal note, just talk to me about how's everything on the comedy side of your life. How is that going?
Comedy-wise, it's pretty good. The Pimp on a Blimp, High on Steak and Shrimp tour is going pretty well. A lot of people seem interested. I might go to a couple different states. We're thinking New York, maybe Texas. We got to field it out a little bit. We're feeling pretty good about it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I just want to show everyone right here. He just held his campaign event right here, Carleo's Italian Pizza. Why was it important for you today to get all of your campaign staff together and host this function today? Why was that important for you?
Well, I really think we need to start strategizing. There's a saying, it's never too early to get on the campaign trail, and we're really enhancing that here. But I think the bigger plan is the reason why I didn't hold this at some uppity 5-star restaurant. That's what Jessica Fitzwater would do with all of her elitists. We're showing that small business should be supported, not demoralized during this time with a lot of demoralizing Jessica Fitzwater business policy. So we're really trying to go out and spread that message currently.
I understand it's a rumor, but I wanted to ask you directly, because when we were in the restaurant, for the record, I didn't get a lot of time to talk to Jose inside of the restaurant, but is it true that they gave you a free large pizza.
It's definitely true. We're talking about putting something on the menu. It's going to be fantastic. I don't even know what to say about it.
Yeah.
All I can say is that the wings are phenomenal. 10 out of 10. It's going to be called the Jose's Hot Wings.
Right.
Jose's hot, so you should be hot with the wings. And at the end of the day, that's going to be on the menu with some Old Bay fries. Definitely a good taste, guys. Go ahead and try.
Did you say hot wings?
I definitely did say hot wings.
He did say hot wings.
I did say hot
He sure
wings.
did. So here's what I want to talk to you about. Talk to me about COVID 2020 in Frederick County. You know that a lot of the restaurants, a lot of the businesses shut down. How do you think Frederick County handled the pandemic?
I think they handled it like a tornado, a natural disaster.
Okay. You wouldn't have done it. How would you have done it?
The way I would have done it is I would have kept the school open, you know.
The businesses, though.
Yeah, the businesses I would have kept open. You know, government didn't give us these rights, God did. And I'm not going to be on the record taking away people's way of business. You know, in America, you have your own right to create a living any way you want. Government can't restrict that. At the end of the day, we need to, you know, really roll back on COVID and really learn that taking education away from kids, forcing them to be on Zoom calls and all this crap didn't work, and we're facing repercussions. You know, my plan will be a little bit different. We'll really spend a lot on education.
Right. Okay, so I don't want to bring up anything too personal, but obviously you are a public figure, so I will bring this up. I understand that there was a girl named Savannah who you were, hold a minute. Let me ask the question. I want to get it out because I think it's important that you get this out on the record before, you know, a very hostile press tries to swoop in and attack you for this. But I hear that there was a girl named Savannah who was going to be like your campaign advisor, I understand, but she was caught doing something improper and you had to essentially fire her from your campaign. What do you want to say about that?
Yeah.
Is that true? What Savannah did? Like,
yeah.
What do you want? You put out a press release. For people who don't know, she put out a press release talking about how his soon-to-be campaign advisor, a girl named Savannah, we won't get into it too much, but she was fired from your campaign. You didn't give us a specific reason for that. What do you want to say about that? Do you want to get into specifics? I mean, because from the outside, like, it's fair that somebody could think that perhaps something shady was going on behind the scenes. What do you make of this?
It was a mix of alcohol and a bit of sexual misconduct. We found out that she was doing things.
Really?
A lot of things that as a campaign we can just not get behind. We do not. We don't go out and vouch for 17, 18-year-olds dating 15 and 14-year-olds and things like that. That's not what we do here. This isn't the Biden campaign, and we won't run it that way.
Well, listen, all I can say is I cannot confirm or deny what he just said right there, but obviously, if you had concerns with somebody on, you know, a member of your staff, if you had those concerns, and you fired her, and you did what you felt was in the best interest for yourself and for your voters, then I will not knock you for that. So moving past Savannah, I now want to talk about some of your infrastructure policies. What do you plan to do to continue Frederick County as a developing county here in Maryland?
My goal is to really fix a lot of the roads. It's really bumpy in Frederick.
Yeah.
And you know, the atmosphere, we got to fix that too. There's just too many bad schools, too many kids not being able to read on grade level. My thing would be, I would make the schools competitive. The schools that have the higher grades, they would get more funding, and the schools that do not, they would not receive proper funding as a punishment. So that, in addition to investing into a kind of lot of lands to install some solar panels and things like that, create more jobs. We're going to keep the gas, obviously. We're not going to ban fossil fuels, but I'm always in the market of creating new jobs, and that's what we're going to do.
All right, so we'll change topics just for one moment here. If you want to come in camera person, get a good shot of Emmitsburg Liquors. We can see right here, as we told you, Emmitsburg Liquors. They are a contributor to the Jose Torres for Frederick County Executive Campaign. One of the things that this liquor store said they would do is they actually said that they are going to host a block party, and you want to come in for a minute, and they were going to provide free Modelo for everyone who came. Like, what's your reaction to that?
I think
it sounds like they're all in on it.
I think Modelo's a very great company.
Yeah.
They're not a woke company like Bud Light. They don't do any of that nonsense.
Yeah.
So I'm fully in support of giving out those for free, and I hope people enjoy them. Drink responsibly, though, guys.
Absolutely. So, another issue that I want to talk to you about is, how do you think Frederick County should go about holding elections? We talk a lot about voter fraud and voter impropriety, and that's something that has come up on a national level, but also on a local level as well. What do you think of like allegations of voter fraud and voter misconduct? How should we hold elections? Where do you stand on that issue?
Well, I think regarding election laws, I think there's been a lot of elections in the last nationally couple of years. I believe Trump was robbed of the 2020 election. I think there was a lot of voting irregularities. In Frederick County, I think there's a lot of voting suppression.
Yeah.
I did a lot of research. People showed up to vote for candidates, and they told them that it's not bother. You know, that they shouldn't even show up. They don't got enough paper for them. You know, they don't got ballots to fill out.
Okay.
So we need to crack down on voter suppression, and everybody gets to vote.
So, day one as Frederick County executive, what's the first thing you fight to change in Frederick County?
On day one, the district attorney of Frederick's fired.
Okay.
They're just not doing their job. Crime, if you look at it, 1 in 3 people are committing a crime every day in Frederick. Straight astonishing. Can't happen, won't happen in my city. And I tell you what, you know, they're not going to try it in Fredericktown. Like Jason Aldean said, they won't try that in a small town.
Right.
At the end of the day, and you know what? The policies we're going to put in place: no more, no cashless bail. It's going to be heavy. You steal a candy bar, you're done. That's it.
Yeah.
5 years minimum. We're not putting up with that nonsense. China's got one thing right: they prosecute people on crimes, and I will not be the opposite. We will do the same thing.
Okay. Interesting. So, what do you think is the one area that Jessica Fitzwater, our current county executive, what is the area that you think she has it the most wrong, the most incorrect?
Well, I think she's just tone deaf and out of touch on the fact that the property taxes are just way too high. We have a lot of people right now who are really giving that money to schools. Their kids aren't in schools. We need to roll that money back and actually invest it into getting kids computers, getting kids the ability to do a lot of things that impoverished kids, a lot of them in Frederick, can't do. So I think that's where she's got it all wrong: education and property taxes.
I got a big meatball that I'm going to throw your way. Frederick County Public Schools. All right. Now, Frederick County Public Schools recently has been creating a lot of headwaves. They have been sued for what's been described as a race hoax, where they deemed a white student out to be racist when he was not. This is what a lawsuit claims. We also have a new lawsuit that FCPS staff broke a child's leg, an autistic boy's leg. So we have negligence lawsuits all the way around. We have incidents where the federal government has found improper conduct from Frederick County Public Schools. What are you going to do to make sure that in Frederick County our school system is on the up and up?
Well, what I think I'll do is, in Frederick County right now, we have a focus on teaching kids that it's okay to be gay. I don't want to teach anything like that. I think what we need to teach is we need to bring God back in the classroom.
Okay.
I'm all about having the Pledge of Allegiance. That's been eliminated in schools. We don't hear that no more.
Really?
We don't hear the American flag. We don't have the American flag in a lot of Maryland schools. That changes with me. And we're going to renovate those schools. If they want to do it, they won't get any public funding. And they're going to do it my way, like at BK, or they're not going to have it their way.
Right.
And at the end of the day, that's the way we're going to roll it around. We're going to eliminate all that woke agenda, and we're just going to put in American-style learning, arithmetic, cooking, and independent living skills. That's what we're going for.
Are you worried that any view that you might hold could be seen as too extreme for Frederick County?
I wouldn't say I'm extreme. I think when people ask me what type of Republican I am, I say, well, what did you think of Ronald Reagan?
Yeah.
And I think if you think about what you think of him, I think you get a pretty good estimation on who I am. But what I'll say is I think my view on abortion is, people might say it's extreme. What you may call extreme, I call common sense. You know, people say, oh, it's not right to say that a woman cannot do an abortion. Well, I believe it takes two to tango, and so there has to be this moral thing we follow, because all our laws are based on morals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if we're not going to say, oh well, a man and a woman get together, and then people will throw this thing, 8% of that is underskewed, a lot of it's rape. You know what? We're not going to make a decision based off of 8%. Rape, we can get into that. That should be excused. But when we talk about, abortions up until birth, that is what I call extreme.
In the last election between Jessica Fitzwater and Michael Huff lost that election by less than 1%. How are you going to get that 1%? Because you need that 1% to win.
Well, I think what this is I'm a different kind of Republican. I'm not what people would call a MAGA extremist, although I don't believe in the word extreme. I'm just not the type. I'm a very likable guy. I mean, you see all these people that are willing to hang out with me, the fan that was willing to come up and get my autograph. The enthusiasm is in the air, and I want people to use that as an igniter for this campaign. We don't have 1%. We have all the percent, and everybody's going to turn out for this election. We're really going to get this thing flipped.
Where do you think Michael Huff went wrong? A lot of people thought he was going to take that election, and he was up significantly for about, I believe it was 10 days. He was up, and all of a sudden Fitzwater caught up to him, and boom, she's our county executive. Well, what do you think fell through?
At the end of the day, the difference between me and him is I'm not a politician. We need, Vivek Ramaswamy, a Republican presidential candidate, said it right. We need a new kind of generation leading. I'm tired of 50 and 6-year-olds coming in, act like they know us. They don't know us because they aren't us. We need somebody in there that's 20 to 30 years old, coming out with guns blazing and know what he's doing. And I just don't think they have that just yet, but I'm going to be that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely don't want to block the door here.
Yeah.
So, Jose, before I let you go here, I just want to ask you, do you feel it in your heart that this is what you're called to do, to be Frederick County executive? This is a very specific thing. Like, you're not looking to be council member, you're not looking to be state's attorney, you're not looking to be like the clerk of courts. You want to run this county.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, the reason why I want to run this county is because I'm not a super PAC puppet. I'm not, my hands are not in the tip jar at the end of the day. I'm not accepting big donors. If anybody wants to donate to me, that's fine, but I'm not taking super PAC. I'm not taking, Jeb Bush type of donations.
Mm-hmm.
We're keeping it to the people. And the reason why I have the drive to do this is because I am from Pennsylvania. People can call me an outsider, but I'm not an outsider to the homelessness crisis. But I'm not an outsider to the homelessness crisis. That's a huge thing in Frederick.
We'll talk about that for a minute. We actually do have a homeless problem here in Frederick. That's a big issue, especially downtown along Carroll Creek. We see a lot of homeless, and it's something that makes headwaves, and it's something that a lot of people are concerned with. So, what are you going to do about the homeless problem here in Frederick County?
In Frederick, there's a lot of broken down buildings, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to invest money in the budget to renovate those buildings, make them state-of-the-art. We're going to create jobs in there, very keepable jobs for people. We'll train them. Homeless people, we'll give them places to stay. And the way we'll do that is we'll get the cost of living down so low. What they'll be making in terms of income, the house will be easy come, easy go for them. And I think that's the bar where we start.
Okay, absolutely. Well, again, I just want to thank Carlio's Italian Pizza for, I had some pizza today, so I was the beneficiary of the free pizza that they donated to the Jose Torres for Frederick County campaign. So guys, again, Jose Torres running for Frederick County executive in Frederick County, Maryland. Jose, thank you for being transparent with your campaign and inviting me to this lunch slash brunch, whatever you want to call it, this luncheon that your campaign held today. And I look forward to following your campaign as it progresses in the future. So thank you.
I really appreciate that, Levi. Well, instead of no way Jose, it's all the way Jose. Thank you for your time.
All the way Jose. Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Jose in Emmitsburg, Maryland.